Okay. I'm going to try streaming here. Let us see, let us see, let us see. Now I'm going to try it from the other computer. Right now there's 0 watching. Okay, that's sad. Let's see. Check, check, check. Checky 1, 2, check, check, check. Okay, I see sound coming from OBS. I switched computers, so I'm going to see. Yep. So I'm going to see now. Okay, it's running. Ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-boom. Okay. It looks good in OBS over there. I'm going to do a refresh on this feed to see if we're getting Control R. Okay. Get a refresh on this feed. Check. Okay, which device is this? Properties. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be the mic from the camera. Checky 1, 2, checky 1, 2. It says the stream is very healthy and happy. That's always good. From what I see, the camera feed looks good on there. Anything? No video? Okay, we got sound. Check, 1, 2. Awesome, the Mighty Pork Chop. How's it sound? Can you hear everything okay? Woo-hoo-hoo! Okay, so rewind. I can't do the deep voice though. And the deep voice has always been my little calling card, my little calling tag. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the live feed. Ho 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 ho. We'll just have to make do with that for now. So, yes, we got the guitar. Woo! Try again. Woohoo! It's Sunday. And if it's Sunday, it is the Guitar Meets Science live feed. Yeah. So welcome to the live feed. Hopefully everybody comes back, because I just lost the entire audience because my sound just went. So, anyways, now we are back in. 6 strings and 10 finger. How goes it, my friend? Have you been playing? Have you been doing any videos? I haven't seen anything come from you. What's going on with you? Yeah, the interesting thing is that I'm going to be keeping all the audio from my feed, because all these things, one of these days I'm actually thinking about literally doing an album. So all these little ideas that keep coming to me when I'm sitting here noodling around with the feed. You have? Oh man, I'm hoping a speedy recovery for you, my friend. You alright? In the hospital, my goodness, how long you been in there for? Yeah, that's damn, man. That's wow. I did not know that. I'll try to get this in tune here. Paul Lou, what's going on, my friend? Well, it's good to see you're back in action, 6 strings and 10 fingers. Yeah, that sucks. Nobody likes spending time in the hospital, that's for damn sure. So, good to see you're back. Good to see you have joined our rockin' ranks. Only hoping a speedy recovery for you. Get you back out there rocking. That's the goal. Yeah, so Paul, at 6 strings, 10 fingers, you know, Mighty Pork Chop. I had some serious technical difficulties going on. I was running this on my old machine that I've always been running it on, but for some reason, it just went crazy. The audio started cutting out and all sorts of stuff, so I might have to re-up the drivers on it. So it's been, I had to start the feed, and then I had to nuke the feed in order to run everything over onto my other machine and run the feed that way. But it looks like, so far from what I'm seeing, the feed is looking good there. So however, a couple days ago, a thing called Crow, it's for toddlers. Somehow you got it. Oh my god, man! Wow. So that must have been freaking intense, man. And it's kind of rare for people in your age group. It's for people much younger. That's something. So yeah, it was. Well, dude, so you're feeling better. Glad to see you're here, man. That's great. Yeah, recover fast, my friend. Hey Ed. So yeah, Ed, I was having trouble. I ran into my old machine, the same old machine I've been doing my live streams on now since I started doing these things, but for some reason, it just got all wonky, wonked out. So now I'm running the chat on the old machine so I could see what you guys are saying, but I had to actually run the camera into here. So I don't have the deep voice. Yeah, no, it wasn't even sound card, because I'm not even using a sound card. I'm actually using an outboard box for that. I was actually thinking that I might try doing the box, but I don't know. I don't want to interrupt anything. We have guitar, we have voice, so we're good on this stream. But I might try later on something. So yeah, so we have sound. I'm running the camera audio now, so that all we're catching is ambient audio in the room. But I guess it'll do the job for this feed. So Ed Dana did a really cool, he did a cool challenge with a nice slow blues in G. So yeah, I had to jump in on that. I mean, you see a slow blues, and you have to jump on the slow blues. That's just pretty much how it is. I don't know why, but slow blues seems to lend itself to all sorts of different kind of riffage. And I ran this very same setup through the amp, only I close mic'd it, but yeah, I really like that tasty rhythm work that you're doing in there. Yep, I'm seeing sound coming through still, so. Jack. How's it going, Jack? Good. Whew, that makes me feel better. Because I'm like, man, I have no idea how it sounds out there, but... So yeah, I was working on a little bit of you too, my friend. Thank you. I was working on a little bit with the picking techniques, and what was it? Rocker Pat had put something up there. Actually, I can't do it on this guitar. It's the other one because it's got a better reach for that. But down here. Not quite catching. The strings aren't catching the way I want them to. See, it's hard practicing with low gain because you don't quite get the sustain that we normally would get. Things like tapping are a little more difficult. But it's really good for things where you want to have note definition. So, for example, if we want to hit a note, we really want to hear that pick hit those strings. For that, it's always good. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. I was actually reading something my wife had printed out. She's Canadian, and as you know, all Canadians know each other. No, probably not a time for a joke on that one. But the thing is that she had actually done a printout of sort of his take on some of the Rush songs, and it was pretty interesting to sort of see sort of the inspiration that came from some of these things. And it was kind of funny when he talked about Limelight and how Alex Lifeson was always having these dreams, and I guess when they would get together to rehearse or sound check or play together or whatever, that Alex Lifeson would be telling him every detail about all the dream he had last night. And of course, they all got tired of hearing of it, but it ended up turning itself into a song, Limelight, which is actually a really big song. So, Electric Gypsy, what's up, my friend? Oh yeah, I'm addicted to that Rush. That's a great one. But yeah, Neil Peart, man, he was a beast. You know, he not only played drums, but he was also their lyricist as well. So, I mean, you think about, and their lyrics are kind of complex. I mean, they're very intellectual. He was a very intellectual, introverted guy, so it's kind of interesting to think that somebody who was able to come up with such complex drum beats was also able to come up with such thoughtful lyrics. Yeah, Electric Gypsy, good to see you here, brother. Upside Down, my friend. Dinner with Rush. I'll have to check it out for sure. Yeah, tapping sequence on Addicted to That Rush. God, I can't remember how it goes. I actually tried to learn that once, but Dwight says, "Hey, Upside Down," and so of course every single time you mention Upside Down, I have to actually approve the comment. It's the weirdest thing. Like you can say, "Hey, Jack Rosas," he'll go right through. You could say, "Hey, 6 strings and 10 fingers," will go right through. "Hey, Dwight Bailey," right? Not Upside Down for some reason. You can type in, "Hey, Electric Gypsy Blues," not a problem. It's just, I don't know, it's just the weirdest thing. Well, yes, but even dipshit. I have to actually approve dipshit. So for some reason, oh my God, you learned 2112, so props to you, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's YouTube has it out for you, man. I hear you, Ed. But yet you do sort of look like Geddy Lee. I don't know, you probably get that a lot, but you do. You kind of remind me a little bit of Geddy Lee. You guys are distant relatives somehow. I look a bit like Alex when my hair's grown out. Though my hair hasn't been grown out in a very long time. That's something, man. Yeah, singing Geddy Lee would be really tough, especially. You're right when he does that at the end of I know this one. Yeah, that's it. I know that. I don't know the other part though. I don't know the solo. I know the bass solo, but not the guitar solo. Rocker Pat, what's going on, man? Yeah, Rocker Pat. We just did a Judas Priest thing. Yeah, they're all about that bass. Absolutely, man. Oh, it was great. Thanks, Jack, for asking. Actually, I had a really good time. I went down the road to this place called the Rockabilly. And, yeah, they have jams every Sunday. And it's kind of one of those type things where you're not quite sure what group of musicians you're going to get up with. But you get up there and you know, you put yourself down and you say, hey, I'm going to sing a bit, I'm going to play some guitar a bit, whatever, and so you kind of mix it up and you play all sorts of stuff. Highly recommended. Pretty much any like little instructional type video I put out, I always try to say, hey, go to your local jam if you can, you know, go to your local jam, because that to me I think is the best way to really learn the guitar, because they kind of, you know, force different songs on you that you normally wouldn't play, so you got to find some way to kind of fit in with that. So it's fun. It's a really good challenge. Hey, that's good to hear, Rocker Pat. Keep on playing like a demon, man. That's how Judas Priest is done, anyways. Is like a demon. So. Yeah, that little speed picking thing that he does there. That was pretty cool. I like that solo. It's easier to pull off on the Ibanez. Partially because the Ibanez has 24 frets. This one has kind of 22 frets, right? Yeah. It doesn't even have 22 frets. It really has 21 frets. 15, 17, 19, 21. So, you know, if I wanted to say do like the Journey solo. You'd have to do that, a little pick scrape at the end there. Craig, that there are what I call my cheater straps. A lot of people tend to use them for tapping, but I actually use them for funk. So what I'll do is, these are mutes. So cheap ones. I like the 99-cent ones. You take about 4 of them. I put 4 of them on the guitar, and it really gives a good mute. You just kind of span them across like that, and you end up pretty much with everything as muted as possible. And then you could hit all 6 strings and get only 1 note if you want. So if I wanted to play like a really complex funk figure, and it becomes addictive after a while. But yeah, DIY, man, that's the way to go. Yeah, that's right. Now, I never got to investigate entirely, but how well does the groove gear work? Like, could you take the groove gear, for example, could you take that and put it on, say, the 1st fret right here and have a total mute? Because I know with these, I have to move them up a little further. I have to span it up to about the 4th fret in order to make sure I get a good, decent mute, like almost like a mute to nothing. You know what I mean? So that's really like, there's really not much going on there at all. But again, now I don't have use of these frets. So it'd be nice to know that there's something out there that could have it down here and it would just mute the heck out of everything. Because see that's still not muted enough. It's got to be like that, you know, pretty much. So you could really kind of get... Yeah, you could definitely get clean and more, because like if I do the same thing. Hard Day's Night chord, maybe. Yeah, it's weird. It'd be weird there was Beatles influence in there, but you know, you never know. It all comes from the same place. This is a really quite the screaming, surfy sounding guitar right now, the way it's set up. And especially if I kick it over into the single coil mode on the bridge, then that's how I was able to take a little Chuck Berry and chuck it over on the Ed's tune there. Yeah, that PV. That PV was given to me years ago. That's the Solo Series Bandit, and I think that was made circa 1985. Has a really good tone. Going direct into it. Yeah, the distortion. Yeah, that sounds like fun. I think we could have ourselves a lot of fun with equipment rundowns. Ooh, I think you just gave me an idea. Well, let's see. Let's take a look. So right now, I'm going into the... You guys want to go on a field trip? Let's go on a field trip. All right. Welcome to my nightmare. Let's see. Let's get you under there. All right. So right now, I'm running into the Roland Blues Cube. This thing's been through hell and back, as you can see. Tore this. Rule of thumb, folks, never take your guitar case and lay it right in front of your amplifier in the back seat of your car. Otherwise, you'll end up with that and that, because the zippers will grab the speaker grill. But yeah, I'm going into BC60. I've got this one set up here. I've actually even got the boost on. This is on the lead channel. Got our gain up, presence up, all that good stuff. So I'm running the EQ settings about here. I actually had to paint these on because I lost all the gold pieces that went on top of the volume. Let's see. They won't sign your permission slip. That's all right. We don't need no stinking permission slip. Okay. So going to the Roland, let's see if I can, or to the PB, see if I can reach back there. Grab the old cord. And we'll take this one for a spin. I haven't played through this in a while. But we'll give it a shot. So there's the old PV. See, I've had to replace knobs like crazy, actually. I think this defaults to the lead gain channel, if I'm not mistaken. So we go on. Even the on light doesn't work, but it should pop when I turn it off. Should theoretically pop when I turn it off. And it isn't popping, so I can't show you that amp. It's not making any sound whatsoever. Looks like I got another wiring job. I've been letting all this stuff go for a while. Oh well, I'll show you another piece of gear. This one's pretty damn cool, actually. Maybe I'll have to set you down, though. Looks like it'll be a two-handed job. Well, you just keep on breaking that law, man. Oh, thank you. That hourglass is pretty handy. I have another PV. I have this one here, which I got for 25 bucks at Guitar Center used. It's got the Blue Marvel speaker in it. Pretty good sounding amp. It's 15 watt. It's not exactly loud enough to, like, say, take on a gig or something like that. But I do have this gem. And this is made by Roland. This thing. This thing is badass. This is the Roland Chorus Echo. And yeah, we want to run like some serious delay sounds or whatever. This thing actually has, let's see if I can get into it, all right? We'll get inside of it here. I even have a replacement cartridge for it. But I need to get that camera mobile. Okay. Look at that. So that's what's inside of this bad boy. That's the instructions right there on it. So this will give you some guidelines to go by. But it's actually a tape loop that goes through. And you can set that delay for pretty long. Yeah, Guitar Center let it out of the store for 25 bucks, but little did they tell me that it actually had a problem. So I'd be playing it, sound great, and all of a sudden after about an hour or so, it'd start cutting out. So I got inside, I found a pregnant capacitor inside there. The thing was blowing up like that. So once I got in there and swapped out the capacitor, then it worked totally fine. But I had to go through and test out a lot of caps first before it got to working. You guys want to hear this bad boy? So this one has inputs here, we could come out through the other side, out of here, and yeah, that tape gets going, and it sounds pretty cool. So let's see if I can find the cord. I had this thing out a couple weeks ago. But if you want to get like country or like old school Scotty Moore, that's definitely the way to go. Most of my best stuff I've acquired for free, so this was actually given to me by a friend of the folks who had no use for it. I just hung on to it because again, I've been around for a good while, so yeah, I just try to hang on to my old vintage gear the best I can. Let's see, where's some good chords? I'll try to put this. This sounds best when it's run inside of the effects loop, generally. So if I go in here, fire it up, now I can hear that tape going. So let's see, now this here should be the output. Where does this go? Boom, effects, remote, echo. That should be out. So what I'll do is turn this master level down, go in here, go into return on that side, put our send in on the other end of it. Now luckily this amp does have an effects loop, so it's not too bad, and I think I was running into 3 if I'm not mistaken, right? And we'll go in here. Take a listen, see if I get some echo on the guitar. There we go. I'm hearing something. So a lot of dimension there. We want to hear more. Let's try to turn up the intensity more of the echo. There we go. Now I can dial it in better. I turn off the direct signal. So now what do we got? So yeah, it's a lot of dimension. 4 walls, what's going on, man? Benson tape echo. Not sure. Not sure exactly, because I'm not quite sure how Benson would factor into that. I mean. Yeah, it wouldn't really work quite for jazz. But guys know, if you guys are familiar with Led Zeppelin, that's Candy Store Rock. So it's, yeah, it sounds very much like it. He probably used something along the same line. That's it. So yeah, it sounds pretty darn cool. I've got another piece of gear too I want to show you guys. So now I'm going to take down the effects level. And of course not blow out the room at the same time. That's kind of loud still. Alright, so now are you ready for the next piece of gear? So my wife goes out to the mailbox, I want to say about a week ago, and something comes in the mail for me. And it's this really, really cool piece of gear. And it turns out that it is actually a pick. However, there's something very special about this pick. And I've been looking forward to presenting this for nearly a week now, because this came since I've done my last live feed. So I hope you guys are ready. Please brace yourselves. I want you to turn, I'm going to be turning this pick around, and I really want you to just brace yourselves, okay? Because things are about to get really intense around here, okay? Let me just tell you that. All right, are you ready? Here it goes. Read it very closely. What does it say? Oh, maybe I need to get it closer. Read it even closer. What does that say? Can you see it? Can you see it? Oh, it's not coming out clear. It says 4 Walls Music on it. I got a 4 Walls Music guitar pick. It's got a picture of the Les Paul on there. It's in black and white. 4 Walls is like Mr. Black and White, you know what I mean? So, yes, 4 Walls. Now it's time to debut this and see if it is truly the pick of destiny. So what I will do is pull out one of my favorite funk patterns, and we're going to see. Because funk is really where you can tell a pick's integrity. I've not played with this yet. There's not a single scratch on it, no string scratch or nothing, but it's about to be debuted right now. So here we go. How about for still gotta break it in a little bit. It sounds pretty awesome though. Good job, 4 Walls. My friend, I think you should definitely get into the pick manufacturing business, because I think that I love it, man. got yourself a winner. Yep. Apparently it does, and I think that it's already right there. Yeah, fart's ready. Yep, I think it's got the dip switches built right in, and they're already just cranked to the 10s. I mean, quite a bright attack. Now that's going up against. That's actually going up against the Dunlop Ultex. That's what I've been playing before. So let's see. I've got my Ultex right here. I'll do the same line here with the Four Walls Deluxe. Pretty badass. Good job, man. And it's fun to play with. Yeah, I think so. They must have, man. Instant Ingve, just add Four Walls pick. Yeah, Ed, I'm streaming with OBS. Hey, what's up, Mitch? And of course, Mitch knows his stream stuff, so Mitch, how's it looking over there? Yep, well, the China Pick manufacturer guy did an awesome job, so. However, I'm going to have to go easy on it because I think that I need to prime it a little bit because, see, I've already shredded into it a little bit. And this here is actually a Four Walls collector's item. So, this one goes into the Hall of Fame. So, I'm going to... It's got 16 by 9 format. Oh, okay. I'm not sure of the formats that well. But, yeah, so, in any event, I was just showing off Four Walls picks, and his has a better tone, so I'm gonna save it so that I don't chew all the meat off of it with this with these cobalts here, because these cobalts are tough on picks. They're tough on frets too, but very tough on picks. Yeah, I'm recording in another machine. See, what happened was my feed just went south. It went completely south. I was on here on the old machine. And the sound cut out. Nobody could hear what was going on, whatever. And then so I just had to nuke it. And I nuked it. I pull it back up again. I tried again. Same thing. No sound, no nothing. So I said, you know, fine. I'll go ahead and run into this machine. So now I'm in my higher powered machine, and I think that the pick strokes and everything are coming across okay. Thrash, what's up, dude? Analog everything is better. Ah! Yeah, you wanted to have your computer to yourself. I don't blame you whatsoever. Oh yeah, man, it was such a headache. Yeah, so this is... And what's cool is I don't have to change the settings for like the normal YouTube video thing that I do. I didn't change them at all. I was like, I'm just going to try it like this and cross my fingers and hope that it works. And sure enough, it actually works. So it's a beautiful thing because then I could go ahead and do the whole 1080p thing for the regular YouTube videos without like screwing up settings or whatever. So. And what's also really cool too is that with this over here, this setup that I have, I could be like, showing you, you know, whatever, and going back. So that's kind of neat too. So if people are like, hey man, I like tab, you know, I want to be nerdy. I want to do like nerdy guitar work and look at tabs and dots on fretboards. I'd be like, sure, I can pull up tabs and dots on fretboards for you, not a problem. Oh yeah, man, no problem. No problem, Four Walls. Well, that's cool. That's good, Mitch. I'm glad you can see that. All right, Four Walls, it was good seeing you, man, and I am loving your picks. So I'm going to be, one of these days I'm going to get into actually recording an actual proper CD, and when I do, I'm going to use that as a recording pick because I'm loving the tones coming out of it. So. And Thrash is streaming through regular Handycam plugged in. It's that web camera. It's the C920, I think it is. Logitech. It was one that Mitch had actually recommended. Oh, okay. Yeah, Dwight, good seeing you, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, dude. I appreciate it. Did I upgrade the webcam? No, I didn't do anything with the webcam itself. I just, all I did was instead of plugging that into my old, see, I'm reading you guys' chat off my old machine. So at this point, that's what it's useful for. And then normally I was streaming on the old machine too. So I had OBS going on one screen, and I had you guys talking back and forth to you guys on the other screen. I don't know where Soda's at. Soda comes and goes. Sometimes he stays up really late, I think. So he'll be around. But yeah. So what happened is I just decided to go ahead and go in here, and I just ran OBS like normal, the way I do when I do like regular videos, because that's what I've been using now is just OBS. So that's awesome. See, okay, well, sometimes it requires a you know, forced thing in order to have you improve. The only thing that I would do is I want to add my audio interface to it so I can turn that on and off and go in there so I can make a deep voice and do all that stuff. Right now I can't do that. But, and also be able to have like the guitar be a bit more direct in the speakers instead of just ambient in the room. But I think it sounds okay in here. Yeah, right. Trying to go thrash style, you know. But now you can see the hand okay, I think. I don't have that much gain going on. Yeah. Tandy 2000. Craig, let's see. I'm going to say choice. We have a 10-second lag on us, so I'm going to say choice A would be. And choice B is So Craig, whichever one you were making mention of, tell me whether it was choice A or choice B, and then I'll run over that. And Electric Gypsy, you're saying after your arm surgery. So what happened to your arm, Electric Gypsy? Commodore 64, yeah. God, I still love those old Nintendos. I know I have one laying around somewhere, and I've got Super Mario Brothers 2 on it. Come on, Thrash. You know what I'm talking about, man. Only the best. Yeah, Ed had gone through like a whole ton of stuff. Ton of operations. SMB2. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Piece of glass went through it. Wow, man. Man, oh man, oh man. Thank you, Jack. 64th notes. Let's see. So what was... some of this kind of moved a little quick here. Let's see. So... okay, yeah. The... It might be 64th. I'm not sure. I don't think of... Dun, 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 1E and a 2E. It's, yeah, not quite 16th notes. It's almost more like sextuplets. Really, she went through a lot more, and you couldn't tell because I mean she plays that bass great. Wow, oh man, dude, glass in the arm. That's oh, it hurts even thinking about it. Hey, thanks, Mitch. I'm playing through the old Roland Blues Cube, the BC60. I kind of gave everybody a close-up on that. I'll happily give you a close-up too, because it's like so old and broken down, and I had to show everybody what happens when you keep a guitar case in front of your speaker in the back seat of the car. And you pull your guitar case like that, and woohoo! We go ahead and we rip this. But yeah, and it's got the Eminence. If I can turn it around here, you can see that. That's the Eminence Red, White, and Blue speaker. Killer speaker. And of course we've got, yeah. So it's set up on the lead channel, going through there. It's got a really nice clean channel too, but. Generally, we like to play like mean stuff, so mean and aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was everybody's field trip. I took everybody on a field trip from the live feed to go and see the gear up close, right? But yeah, it's got a really, and that's just direct in. I mean, there's nothing else, no effects, no distortion pedals, none of that stuff going on. Whole year of rehab just to get the arm. God, man. So you talk about like ligaments and everything, and you're able to play the way you do, which is definitely something, man. Yeah, that's a lot. That's some intense surgery. Yeah, Mitch. That amp is really good. It's funny because I didn't really even quite know the tube tones supposedly, but I'd fallen in love with it in music store where I was teaching at, and I'd just go in there all the time and just play it in between lessons. And then my wife got it for me. She checked with them. She's like, all right, what kind of gear has he been eyeing lately? And they're like, well, he just won't leave that Roland BC60 amp alone. And it has tube tones. So when you're, you know, a normal solid state amp won't sound like that. It doesn't have that those bell-like overtones to it. But yeah, man, Electric Gypsy, that's really something. How long ago did that happen? that's an acoustic piano. It's an upright. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, mine's a piano, but it needs tuning really badly. But I like the resonant overtones that you get from the amp sitting on top of it. Wow, so you took a long time off guitar then. Is that what you got, 6 strings and 10 fingers? A Marshall Code 100 head? Or is that something that you're eyeing, that you're thinking about picking up? Hey, thank you, Jack. So, Jack, how long did you have to go without playing? I don't know, yeah, it's one of those, sounds like one of those amps you'd have to try out, but maybe somebody owns one, I don't know. That's a tube amp. But you're playing now, right, Jack? Like, in other words, like you're back to where you were, I guess, playing wise. Is that correct? Or oh, it's a little loud. Wow, that's a long time, you know. Yeah, I've gotten some really good entries on that funk challenge I put up. People have really surprised the heck out of me with that. Really cool stuff. This morning I wake up and I come across Empirism. If you know him. Man, I'm telling you what, that dude had me just cracking up. That's good, Jack. It's good you're back in action, man. In fact, your 5th metacarpal heel snapped. Damn, man. Yeah, that's pain. And if you guys don't know Craig, for those who don't know Craig, Craig plays every instrument in the book. So he plays guitar very well. He plays drums very well. I mean, just so much there. So I can imagine. I mean, any one injury can set you back. You know, not only on one instrument, but multiple instruments. I mean, I can't compare to you guys, but I had on this very guitar, somewhere around here, I had a little burr on the fret. I had no idea. So I was just gigging, and what do you call it? Yeah, all right. So you guys know Craig. Yeah, Craig's getting on the map, man. He's jumping in there. He's going for it. So that's cool. Good to see him kind of doing some breakouts. But yeah, I had a little burr, and I'm bending, whatever. And all of a sudden, one night, I'm like, how come, you know, my middle finger was just hurting like hell. And I ended up playing it. I didn't realize there was a burr in here. Well, I ended up switching guitars over to the Yamaha, and I played that for the longest time. And I did all kinds of things. I threw 7s on there. I tried super glue, you know, super glue on the tip of the finger. It was like a horse clomping around on your fretboard. That's what it sounded like. A horse's hoofs, just bang, bang, bang when you're playing. So that didn't work. So I ended up just playing basically a year without my middle finger, just only these 3 fingers. And it was good. It was a good exercise, that's for sure. Where am I? Is that for me? Hey, Ron, what's happening? Is that for question for me? If that's for me, I'm over in Tucson, and I am a engineer, digital signal processing engineer. Used to be a musician for a living. Then I decided I wanted a steady paycheck, so. Just need the wall. What about you, man? Where are you from and what do you do? Oh, yeah, 6-string set figure. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Didja. Darn it. I knew his name. I mean, I typed it like a ton of times, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. And I was telling my wife about him. I was like, yeah, here's this guy who said, well, I don't play guitar, so I can't do an entry. I'm like, of course you could do an entry. Hop on in there. He gets in there and he's playing the computer keyboard and he's busting out these chords. It's the craziest thing. So yeah, man, just really interesting stuff. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have access to be able to actually pull it up, but oh man, Ed. Well, hey, you know, we gotta have them, right? Oh, that's cool. Okay. Defiance, Ohio. Definitely interesting music scene up there, huh? Hey, Craig. Yeah. Yeah. As a matter of fact, you should jump in on that, man. Ed Dana threw down some frigging funkiness to it that was just awesome. Electric Gypsy just brought on the tastiness. So, excuse me. Sorry, I'm thinking of the Picker Hat. The Picker Hat did it clean, and I was like, whoa, clean. I never even thought of that because I was doing all distortion over the top. But Ed Dana brought the wah, and so his chicken soup entry made me go like this the whole time. I'm just sitting there. I'm watching it, and I'm like, I just watched it again. Was it yesterday? I think it was. Needs some fan action in here. And sure enough, I'm sitting there doing that. So chicken soup, man. It's like, yeah. I don't know. You turned me into a chicken, Ed. That's all I could say. It's great. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, Craig, I definitely, what do you call it? I highly recommend you hop in on that jam. I think that'd be very cool. I'd love to see what you got going with it. I know it's, you know, it's already got bass and drums on there, but heck, I don't know. You can redo it if you want, whatever. I'll put it in as an entry. Hey, Miss Stephanie, how's it going? How's it going with the fires out there? That's some intense stuff. We've been watching that on the news. Hope all's well out there. Yeah, the Ottawa, that Ottawa's cool, man. I really like it. I like the grooves. I just liked what you're playing on it too, because that was going perfectly with the Ottawa. So I was just, I don't know, I was just digging it, man. It was great. Yeah, hopefully they get that stuff worked out. I mean, that just sucks. It's crazy. And all the koalas too. I mean, they're so friendly. Oh, I love George Thorogood. George Thorogood's a serious slide player. I always found slide to be kind of hard. Slide is difficult to do, basically. So I have a lot of respect for people who can play really good slide, you know. I can't play that complex of slide, but certainly, I mean, the one that has to be done, and you got to go full on bridge pickup for this, because the guitar just barks, but. So yeah, that for stuff like that, those simple riffs. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you think about like all the animals out there. I mean, it's just terrible. Yeah, it make you want a Firebird. That is so true. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage out there that happens. Kind of hard to do slide with a low action though. Thanks, man. Oh, wore out the tuning peg? Yeah, yeah. On the D string tuning peg of a Les Paul. Interesting. Yeah, I guess you could do that. I don't know, I'd be afraid though. I know I'd be dropping it like mid-song for sure. I keep it on my amp right back behind, and then, but I don't use the slide that much live. It's kind of hard to navigate around with it. But oh, dude, Craig, what you had said about that is Paul Gilbert has a magnetic piece on his guitar. He literally just takes the slide bar and pops it right on that, or I think it's like right up here. So you'll see a slide bar sitting there, and it's literally sitting on a magnet. It's like a big fridge magnet strip right here. Pops it on. Yeah, that's a good song to use the slide on too. In half. Wow. who was it that was talking about the speed picking before? I wasn't sure if they're still here or not. I was going to go ahead and do a little quick thing on that. Speed picking. Because now I have a movable camera. So we could... and we've also got fast enough video going on. Longitudinally. If it were longitudinally, then it would like fall off your finger, I would think. So it'd have to be across. I would think. All right, Ed. Good seeing you, man. Thanks for the good jams. If anybody hasn't popped onto Ed's yet, he's got a couple jams out there going on. So on the tone knob, the slide knob. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, playing the harmonica. That's a good one. Number one lick on the harmonica to learn is let's see. Sounds higher up. Sounds even better higher up. Can't really do it up there, but. Cool. Yeah, I'll be checking out your No More Tears, man. And also that Priest. So were you able to get the solo figured out for that? Alright, so for speed picking, since I was going off on that topic a little bit. See, now I've got a movable camera, so we're gonna head right on down here. We're gonna Troy Grady this one. So I'm gonna take this thing, maybe if I can. I'm gonna head down here, stick this right about there. See how well you can see that? Oh, I gotta tilt the camera properly. There we go. So this is the way I'm holding the pick. I actually take my fingers and I hold the pick like that. It's because my thumb will do that funky thing that goes back. So generally that's how I do it. The pick is turned sideways. Let's see if we can see that or not. Yeah, for that kind of picking, I'll do that. And you can also use that. You can also use that kind of picking in funk too. But oh yeah, for Crazy Train. Ah, the low-hanging Les Paul. I used to do... get the camera back up where it was. I have it placed on a mic stand, so it's kind of... Let's see there. See what's going on. Put you back in the room a bit. Something like that. There we go. Yeah, I used to... the speed metal. Yep. Yeah, I used to hang my guitars low, but I can't hang them low anymore. I don't know, I just hit some age there where I said, guitar goes up like that. Tom Morello gave me permission for that, so now my guitar hangs so that I can pretty much feel the same way as I'm sitting down as I'm standing up. The guitar hangs right there. So that's basically the way I measured it is the middle strings, belly button. That's the easiest way, so. And whatever he does there. Or he could do. I don't know that solo properly, but that's it. Ugh. Which one? Which part? Oh, you're talking about the, yeah. Hetfield, he picks like that. Speed metal people that sit down a lot. Try sitting and putting a guitar at 45. Yeah, repetition. 45-degree angle, you mean? Yeah, I'm not sure if a lot of... I see a lot of metal players actually turning their pick that way. Which you could do, but I don't find it's as aggressive. This way is more aggressive. Plus, it's really good with picking double stops. Like literally, you could shred 2 notes at the same time per each note. So in other words, instead of doing a single note shred, you could actually do a double stop shred. That kind of thing. So you can make a whole lot more racket. That's good, yeah. I used to do that. Then I got these Ultexes. I don't really have to do that as much, but with these orange Tortexes. Oops. Dropped my flow packet here. These old orange Tortexes, I've had these things forever, and they're really good too for a good solid shred because it's actually a light gauge. What is this? 0.6 millimeters. But with the twisty pick style. A little pick noise off of them. The Ultex is a very good kind of middle ground. These things you never have to sharpen. Yep, Paige used the bow. You could use a sharpening stone. Absolutely. Page. Jimmy Page. Yeah, I do that by roughing up the top of the pick. I just basically I take that and stick it on a file, rough it up, and then you get a lot of good noise making fun out of that. Yeah, Nigel Topnell actually used a violin. That is right. Yep, Eddie. So did Paul Gilbert. Paul Gilbert actually got the power drill caught in his hair mid-performance. Well, this one here is a .73 millimeter, but it's an Ultex, so it makes it different. I find the thinner picks have more of an aggressive tone to them, but I also like a good fat 2 millimeter pick. Where did it go? Darn, I just had it. Yeah. Going on a gear field trip, I lost some stuff. So this one here I use quite a bit. That's the Petrucci Flow. That's a 2 millimeter pick, and it's got a mellower attack. So, you know, so it's less noisy, and it really glides over the string. Good for sweeping. It's not quite as good for that kind of hyperspeed picking. For that, I like the Ultexes better. String gauge 9s, without a doubt. What about you? I've been using these things like crazy lately. I friggin' love them. These Cobalts are pretty crazy. But when I'm not using those, then I'm using these bad boys, which are cheap and very reliable GHS boomers. I've seen those snarling dogs in the store. Those are supposed to be a good pick. Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page used Herco picks, H-E-R-C-O, which are basically just the straight up gray nylons that Dunlop put out. Tens, okay, yeah. See, I can't play on tens. They're too heavy for me. A friend of mine plays on tens. I'll pick up his guitar. I'm like, man, strung too heavy. I don't know, these fingers can't handle tens. I actually tried to switch down to eights. If you guys are ever in your YouTube travels and you're a little bored, pop over to my other video that has Bruce Lee on the thing. That's the Ibanez that's outfitted with 8s on it, and I just found the tone was just way too anemic. So right when I was done with that video, I took those 8s right off of that guitar and stuck on some of those Cobalt 9s, and then I did that Texas blues video right after that, and I really like the sound. So you're hard on strings then. Yeah, so Electric Gypsy is similar to what I use, basically. Recreating Page's... See, yeah, because Craig knows Page so well. I mean, you're playing his stuff like note for note. So, you were recreating his pick attack with a delay trick. He found his telly was actually strung through the bridge. Yeah, he played eights. He played eights. 10 is the thickest. You could do page bend. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So, yeah, I mean, if you get away with nines, you probably really get a serious pick attack from Page, because he's got that. You can really hear that. And really, I know he did not use them, but actually I would probably recommend picking up Ultex picks for that if you really like them. It's 0.009. If you're asking me. If you're asking Craig, I'm not sure. Tombstone? Not familiar. He really gets a pick attack there. Like that, yeah. So you almost have to turn the Ultex pick sideways to get that extra. Yeah, I'm not too familiar, actually. Is that supposed to be a round 2 song? I have to check it out. How about Oatman? Are you familiar with Oatman, Arizona? That one I know of. Used to live in Vegas, so we've been out here a couple years. But we would head over to Oatman. It was a really cool cowboy town. This guitar is an old beat up Strat. It's been through the ringer and back. Utilizing my handy dandy deluxe removable camera, get to see it in all its glory. This has a DiMarzio. This has a DiMarzio double coil hot rails in the bridge. I think these are lace sensor golds, if I'm not mistaken, in the mid and neck positions. This is the scalloped fretboard. Has not been refinished. I just chuck on. I went ahead and went against advice and chucked on a bunch of olive oil, and the guitar seemed to be very happy with that. The neck is old as dirt, as you can see. Got the locking tuners on it. Yeah, see, I mean, this pickguard has not been changed, so whatever I don't use, I just tape it down. Throw some tape in there. I had some other pots in there. I mean, I just do so much work on this guitar. These little switches here. This switch actually switches. When I hit that switch out like that, then this will give me the type of wiring where I could select between having these two pickups sound at the same time or all three at the same time. And then otherwise, when it's normal, then it's normal in Strat mode, which would be either this one, those two, that one, those two, or that one. So it gives you different wiring configurations. And then this switch here is a coil tap for that guy. For the yeah. So that switch is a coil tap, and it's pretty cool. I like the sound of being able to. I like being able to kind of give that sort of get that Telecaster sound. Oh, that's cool. White Strats are beautiful, man. Yeah, this one's been through the ringer and back, but it definitely makes the sounds that I want it to. Like if I hit the switch here, now I'm getting between these two pickups right here. So. Exactly. It's got a real Texas twang to it. And when I get in the middle here, now I could get all three of these pickups. And the way, of course, that you could tell is you could take a pair of scissors or some kind of metal and tap on that pickup, tap on that pickup, tap on that pickup. That's all three together at one time, and it's a really cool sound. Very Stevie-ish with that kind of sound. And also too here, just these two pickups going. So Rocker Pat, yeah, your question's really, yeah, that's a good one. I love the scallop fretboard. Actually, the very first fretboard I scalloped was a guitar that I had pretty much just left kind of laying in the corner of the room for I don't know how many months. And then I had the injured finger, so I decided to try it, and I fell in love with it. It doesn't make the guitar easier to play, like a lot of people think. A lot of people think that it, somehow it's almost like lowering the action. It's not quite like that. It's just, but it does force you to fret softer. So I could fret pretty much just lay my fingers on the frets and I get my sound. So it's helped the legato out quite a bit. In terms of the vibrato and the bends, though, that's really where it shines, because I'd love to try it with stainless steel frets and the scallop. Then I'm talking about your notes would be like gliding all over the place, like ice. Long and short of it is, it kind of forces you to fret softer. You really notice it down here if you have a full scallop. Some people do like a partial scallop, but I was like, no, go big or go home, basically. But I almost want to say it kind of makes it a little harder to play up here. So I don't do a whole lot of shredding up here. I'm generally doing all my shredding anywhere around this area, but I will do some sometimes. But that just also might be inherent in the guitar. Like on my Ibanez, I don't find it that hard to get around up here. But on the Strat, for some reason, it's kind of like, hey man, just play me low, dude. Grab a high note. But most of your sustain goes on down here. Versus. But in terms of bends, yeah, you can't touch it. Yeah, good for microtonal playing. In blues, we actually use microtonal playing too. So, but just a little bit. So. especially on the 3rd and the 7th, we use microtonal playing, and for the scallops, yeah, it's fantastic for that. So even on low gain settings, you get a fairly nice legato out of it. So yeah, I like it. Yeah, ever since I've scalloped, I've really taken to doing these double stops. So scallops really lend themselves for that kind of playing. Yep, the Ibanez, pretty much all my guitars, my Les Paul is not scalloped and my double neck OLP is not scalloped, but every other guitar is scalloped. Ibanez, the guitar I found in the garbage, which is the Bridgecraft, that one's scalloped. And to Craig's question, did you wire it yourself? Yes, totally did. You remade the 79 Classic 100 combo. You made the speakers. Wow, that's cool, man. That's some serious wiring. Oh, I did it. I did it myself. I took that bad boy, this round file, and yeah, I just started up here, double side or two pieces of electrical tape on each adjacent fret, and just patiently went all the way down the fretboards. And they didn't come out perfect, but the whole point of them was to just have enough wood out of the way that I could do my business, you know, without treading wood, basically. It's the sound it makes. I have quite a few guitars now. Yep, I think the potatoes are scalloped too, upside down. But it just depends on the day. Sometimes the potato, if I'm having Les Paul potatoes, forget about it. Gibson potatoes, no way. Yeah, that's pretty much the sound of it. The sound of it is, damn it. I need a friggin' break, man. Oh, God. That's the sound of scalloping fretboards. That is. Need to smoke. Hey, Jack, thanks for popping down, my friend. I didn't see your goodbye there. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. It's always good to see you, bro. Yeah, per neck. It takes a couple hours. It took me about, I want to say 3 to 4 hours. I have to do little breaks too. With the Ibanez, though, the Ibanez is a very interesting scalloping story. If you guys like scalloping stories, that one takes the cake for sure. Because, well, I don't know. It's pretty much a tie with that and the Strat. The Strat's an interesting, because the Strat that I just showed you, supposedly you're not supposed to scallop maple fretboards. I did not know this. And I'm like, why is it so splintery? You know what I mean? If I'm playing, I'll get splinters in my fingers. I'd go through and just sand the living heck out of it, put a whole bunch of oil on there. I just used olive oil. They said you're not supposed to use olive. It drank the olive oil like crazy. It loved it. No, it's about 4 hours. You know, you just work, you know, take the neck off, of course. I couldn't have the neck on there while I was doing it. But the Ibanez is an interesting story. Let's see if I can find it here. See, I've got the roving camera here, so I can show you. I'm gonna look on here. Which inlay was it? I believe it's this one. Yeah, this is the inlay right here. That inlay was just painted on. Basically, what happened was I was almost in tears. I was I became really quite sensitive about the whole situation. It was really sad because there I am, I'm scalloping, and all of a sudden I see these like silver pieces coming off, and I realized I completely wiped out the inlay. So the inlay was just gone, right? I can't live without inlays. I don't know about you guys. I can't play guitar without them. So I had to have an inlay there. So I took the neck, I drove down the street to the Walgreens, and the nice lady who was working in the cosmetics there, she takes a look at it, she's like, oh, I think I got a color for you. And she gives me a nail polish, so then I go back and I take pieces of tape and I put them into like the shape of the lightning bolt the best I could, and just kind of painted it there and whatever, and yeah, from a distance you can't tell. This inlay was gone. There was none of it. Literally none of it. It was just gone. I was really sad. But then I was happy. Yeah, this one was gone. There was no inlay whatsoever. And one of these, see, I can't even tell now when I look at it. One of these two was half wiped out. So yeah, I had to paint on the lightning bolt using pearl colored nail polish. Yeah, you can't tell from a distance. I mean, up close, yeah, up close you could tell. I mean, it has more shimmer. This has more shimmer than the others, but as long as I can see it and I know, okay, cool, that's where the 9th fret is, I'm happy. But this one also has wiring mods in it too. I put a tap on this. I don't use the tone controls. I find the tone controls just kill your tone, so I just cut them out of the circuit. So I took the tone control out of this and put a switch on there. So that when it's up like that, it's double coil. And then over here, now we're single coil. That's like a... Lumine. I'm not sure what that is, to tell you the truth. Yeah, on Ibanez's GL. I know this model's like on sale at Guitar Center or something like that, and fairly inexpensive model. I found the pickups were really muddy, so I took them out and stuck them in my red Washburn guitar, and I took those pickups because they were brighter and I put them into here. The only problem is that these pickups weren't wired. They didn't allow you to get to the extra wire, so all they had were just 2 wires coming out to where they could only be double coil, and that was it, and I didn't want that. So this one here, the neck pickup, is single coil only. So it's got a nice bite to it. But there's a wire that goes in between those, so I just chopped that and pulled it out and got the part that was nearest the neck. And then over here, I did the same thing. I chopped the wire, but then I added access to it via the switch, so that this way I can have it go ahead and route both through as a double coil. For the most part, that's what I use it for. You know, but then you get that nice I've never seen those, man. See? You guys are telling me about something new every day. I never tried them, never saw them. They're great and they last forever. Wow, glow-in-the-dark dots. Bumble! Bumblebees! How's it going, my friend? Is that pronounced bumblebees or bumblebess? I like the name, but I never know whether to pronounce it bumblebess or bumblebees. Yeah, I might have to give those a shot. That actually sounds really cool, and I like anything that will assist with the visual aspect. It's probably pretty nice, especially on a really dark stage. Not that I really play any dark stages I haven't in a long time, but yeah, those Ibanezes, man, they're cheap and you could get a lot of usage out of them. At first, I was having trouble with the tremolo system. But for the most part, it stays in tune. Sometimes you have to do the Eddie Van Halen. Perfectly in tune. He'll just reach up and grab a little bend there, because sometimes the E goes a little sharp, but for the most part I have it tuned. A rod of Lumine. Good to know, definitely. Doesn't sound like it's a job for the faint at heart, that's for sure. Yeah, that's how it is with the Ibanezes. Yeah, they're cheap and they sound awesome. But the thing is, like I said, with the pickups in this Geo model, I thought it wasn't necessarily they were too muddy, but they were. I'm not. I guess they were kind of muddy. I don't know for some reason, but I just stuck those as single coils on the red guitar, and really the red guitar has not sounded better since I put those in. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I gotta look those up, see some videos on those. A charge lasts an hour. Wow. And how do you charge them again? Oh, you just charge them like under like light, like you just leave them in the light and they charge, that kind of thing. And how long does it take to charge them? That's awesome, man. So you'd be playing, you'd be like, you know, hang on one second, guys. Run out in the hallway, like, all right, where were we? Okay, there we go. Woo! Yeah, well, the secret to the trem is that you actually got to tune the trem too. I did not know this. I did not know this until YouTube. I didn't realize that we actually tune our tremolos the same way that we tune our guitar. Once your tremolo's in tune and everything's like perfect balance, then it's happy. And the way we tune our tremolo is by usage of that claw. By positioning that claw in a certain way, eventually all the planets come into alignment and the world's happy with itself and it stays in tune. Because I'll never use a locking tuner because I'm always using these cheater bands and they would just get cut up in it. So. Randy Rhodes Jackson has an FR. I haven't used it yet. What is an FR? Oh, Floyd Rose. Oh, Thrash is liking that. Yeah, this is the one with the very active whammy bar. This is my Van Halen impersonation guitar. Or Vi. Sound better on double, I bet. Yeah, I know. I see your name pop up, Thrash. All of a sudden, for some reason, I start thinking old Metallica. Old Metallica. Yeah, Craig, you're absolutely right. Generally, when I'm recording, like when I did the Judas Priest thing, for example, I went through this bad boy. Here, which pretty much anything like metal, especially, or if I want to do, like, if I'm like, okay, that's it, I need to do some like serious, like, balls out shred all the way, then I'll pull out that line 6 pedal and go to it, because that gives me all the metal tones that I need. That's why I like, say for the Judas Priest one, same thing. I just went direct into that pedal, right in there. I mean, for the live feed, it's nice to run into the amp, but of course, you don't quite get as much gain as you would like. But interestingly enough, you know, that's also sort of the theory behind playing live. Because when you're playing live, it's amazing how usable that distortion is for pretty much anything. Even if I wanted to play metal live, I could totally pull it off with this very same distortion that you hear, because apparently once that volume goes up on the amp, the natural compression starts kicking in, and yeah, doesn't need that much gain, and every note is really well defined, so when you're playing, it comes across really well. Let's see. My guitar practice goes horribly wrong. I'm playing the zoo. I don't know. But yeah, this is pretty much set up with a blues sound in mind, but it's fun to play metal on a blues rig. Just like it's fun to play blues on a metal rig. Like Pantera's Walk, Dimebag Darrell. He played blues on a metal rig on that solo. Yeah, the preamp is awesome. Yeah, it's funny you asked that, Craig. That's an emulated preamp in some of these pedals. I think they have the EP Boost. If I'm not, yeah, EP Boost. Can't remember which brand makes it. Maybe you know it offhand, but they work on trying to replicate that, the kind of boost that you would get out of that. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's got a great boost. Great preamp, I guess you would say. You know, a good way of pushing the front end. Yeah, that's it. Exotic. Rocker Pat check helm of the Anti-Lemon did several vids trying to solve that issue with his imported Floyd. Oh, okay. So Thrash has fought that battle. That is a good one. Sounds like a good idea. Got some really cool piano resonance from it, that's for sure. Yeah. I like Dave's playing. Yeah, Rocker Pat. Craig was suggesting to take the amplifier there and place it inside of the piano. Or imagine turning the piano into like almost like a speaker box, right? You just take the speaker out and you put it like, say, there in the center, in the lower center of the piano, like that. Just let those piano strings vibrate in sympathy with the speaker. Let's go here. Let's see. This was what I was going to do. Who was it that was having trouble with the modes? Let's see here. Where's projects? Modes. Where'd it go? Right here. Look at that. 5 minutes. Let's talk about dots. Look at dots. I love dots. Nothing funner than dots. Dots are cool. Those are dots. Those are every single thing that you need to know about the modes. Everything. All right there in those dots. Yep, you can see all sets of dots. I was actually thinking of doing a modes in 5 minutes video. Because as crazy as it is, if you know for those who don't know modes, some people know modes, they're gonna be like, I know that stuff already, but for those who don't, if you know those dots, you know the modes. 4 sets of dots. That's it. All you gotta know, and then you'll actually know most of what you would actually need to know the modes. And what you're saying, Thrash, that's true. People diss his playing, but you know what? I think that he almost seemed more raw to me than Kirk Hammett. Like, Kirk Hammett's cool. Kirk Hammett's done a lot of cool stuff. Obviously, I've loved his work, but interesting hearing Dave's take on things because he's very raw. Yeah, well, it's actually a primitive for all of them. Those are primitives for each and every single one of those. What people have a hard time with is the fact that they don't look to say, really, these sets of primitives right here, 1 through 3, for all the proper, I'm going to say like your proper normal shaped modes. Those are so it's really just 3 primitives to remember. Dorian and Aeolian both start the same way with primitive 1. Now, and then the rest is just a bunch of primitives stacked along the strings in a certain order, right? But the Dorian starts here, goes there, so that's primitive 3, and then it goes down 1 fret and does primitive 2 again, and then primitive 1 again, back up 1 fret. So it's easy to learn the Dorian that way. If you just see... Yeah, you're right. The 3 dots together would be a chromatic, and that would be used in different context, which I use them all the time. 3 dots together, I try to find everywhere I can string 3 dots together, but in the actual modes, because a lot of people have a hard time getting their head around them, and I know I did, but the thing is that if you know the moods of each scale, because there's 7 different moods, right? So like the very first mood, if you will, that's why I thought, yeah, I could teach these things in like 5 minutes. They're really not that hard. People see them and they go, oh, panic time. But really, it's not that bad. I mean, that's happy. Wow, that's cool, man. Frame Jackson ad from the guitar player with Dave. That's awesome. Yep, no 3 dots in a row. No, I know I've seen people use the cage method with great success, but I actually use the modal method, if that makes any sense. So for me, I'll look at it as I don't have those frets up there. To you, Dorian. And I just tie those together in the modes, because the modes themselves have their own mood, right? So if we know the mood of the mode, we know that that's happy. So resolved, so happy, right? Our Dorian. But bluesy. And then our Phrygian. Right? And then our Lydian. Now that's like really mysterious. So like mixolydian. Very happy. And then your Aeolian, which is just so sad. Write a solo on one string, look at them up and down each string together. Yeah, the vertical one position method. Yeah, that works. Run up or down the neck, you're only traveling vertically at the open or 5th or 12th frets. C or G. Yeah. A lot of it is just finding the patterns. For me, it was easy enough to see it as the primitives, because I know that follows a progression that'd be like. Off this note, that'd be the Lydian. Mixolydian. And then finally, of course, the most insane one. Oh yeah, my favorite, the Locrian. That'd be in Dorian or Aeolian. Of course, if we raise the 7th on that Aeolian, we get a harmonic minor. That's another cool thing. I don't have this in the dot things. I'll go back to my full screen for a moment. And what's really cool about and I've not seen this in texts, maybe it's finally made its way out into texts or not, but that the harmonic minor scale, the harmonic minor is an Aeolian with a raised 7th. Right? But as you go up the modes, you count down what gets raised. So really, the next mode in series would be the Locrian with a raised 6th. And then it flips over to the Ionian with a raised 5th, Dorian with a raised 4th, Phrygian with a raised 3rd, Lydian with a raised 2nd, and Mixolydian with a raised root. That's just the craziest thing, that the pattern. You go up the modes, you actually go down what gets raised, and it just loops back around till you get a raised root. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I can see that, and it's you know. Possibly could detect pitch with another sense. Let's see. What scale is E? F, G sharp, A, B, C, D sharp, E. That's a E Byzantine, B-Y-Z-A-N-T-I-N-E. It's the 5th mode of the Hungarian Gypsy minor in A. Hungarian Gypsy minor is the harmonic minor, but it's also got a flat 5 in it, I believe, or raised fourth. Raised fourth, flat 5. One of it's got the tritone interval in it. But yeah. Really cool. Yeah, 2 sharps. So it's like, that's like real gypsy. Like field of vision. When you blew your eardrum a few months ago, your vision went crazy. That's interesting. I mean, that's horrible, but I mean, I'm sorry to hear that. But I mean, it's interesting in terms of how you tie it with music. That's cool, Thrash. It's a good way to learn. So what happened was more like gray-black swirling chaos took over the right half of the vision. My God, man, that's intense, dude. Yep, what Bumble said, absolutely. Yeah, the E Byzantine scale. I mean, it's just so much stuff pulling at the root. That's why it sounds so exotic. No, man, it's all good. But yeah, that major seventh pulling at the that just wants to resolve. The Byzantine scale. I had actually wrote a song in that too, but it was in D. It was like. A song called Deer Hunting in Afghanistan. That's cool. I need drop D for that. I don't know if I can do that with this tremolo. But yeah, Byzantine scale is a neat sounding scale. Have to check out that Weezer song for sure. Yep, or the scale for that matter. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they did it in that scale, but I highly doubt it. Now, Joe Satriani did the enigmatic, so he actually did a song in the enigmatic mode, which is really interesting. There's one from the famous Jamolian modal system. Follows a symmetrical shape. That's a nice weird scale for you. Really cool. I'll usually pull that one out when I'm playing over, like when we're doing Chameleon. Yeah, just a normal kind of. So yeah, you can really weird some listeners out with that. Great one. Or the diminished. Definitely regular scale sixths. Sixths. in those lessons in 7th grade, yeah. And his 2 classes didn't go back. It was on Dad's acoustic and lost in pages of dots and the power chords, yeah. Hey Craig, thanks for hanging with us, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming and chilling out. Rock stars in the world. It's going at 7 p.m. here. Need to cook dinner. Yep. And I'm pretty much at the same way too. I'm gonna have to like eat dinner because I'm very like unfed right now. This belly needs nourishment, I must say. Chicken is calling my name. Go eat that chicken. Or pizza. Whatever it is you're going to be eating. And I'll leave you with this. We didn't talk about farts today. Flagellants was not on our lists. I hope that didn't make some people pissed. But that's okay, we can fart all week anyway. Ah, I see theory. I understand moving the major chords up 1 fret at a time and how it related to the simple power chord. Yeah. Yeah, they tie all to the major chords. Essentially. I mean, I guess like your bar chords, especially. Then all we're doing is pulling notes. The devil's tritone. But yeah, so anyways, hope you enjoyed that little melodic foray. I'm going to go ahead and be signing off myself. It's good hanging with you guys. Thrash metal fun riffs. Thanks for coming and shaking it up the way you always do. Love it. Yep, cake and dog farts, absolutely. I don't have my deep voice, but I still say thrash. I'll try to get the deep voice in order. At least now that I know that it's happy streaming from that computer, then at least we can get some good speed going on and everything. So thanks Rocker Pat, Thrash, all you guys for just coming out, hanging out. We had 6 strings, 10 fingers, Electric Gypsy Blues. I mean, that guy's a monster player. Great to have him. Ed Dana popped down. That was great. Just Upside Down. I mean, Upside Down has been hanging out for a while and shaking things up. He's hilarious. So it's just good to have this good to have this bunch here, and good hanging with you guys, man. Appreciate it. So till next week, keep on jamming. Keep on jamming. Woo! Rock on. Have a good week, guys.